In my presentation, I have basically three topics. I will describe the political situation in Hungary and come closer the Hungarian political reality to you in this sense. And in the second part, I will speak about my movement and describe the activities, what we are doing. And finally, I would like to address some general, more ideological issues. As you all know, in Hungary, Viktor Orbán is the prime minister and the Fidesz party is the governing party. And among right-wingers, they have a really good reputation. And I often hear from Westerners that we are in a lucky situation because of Viktor Orbán and because of Fidesz. But we are more than 1,000 kilometers from Hungary. And if we are going too close to this subject, the things can look differently a little bit. The Fidesz party and Viktor Orbán is honored by the international right wing basically for three causes. Half a year ago, on the election, the left was beaten to the ground. This is one. The second, the anti-immigration policy. And the third, it's a fight or alleged fight against the Soros NGOs. In my presentation, I will mention some concrete examples by which we will see that from these three things, only one is true in reality and the other two is semblance. From these three, the truth is half a year ago, the left, the Hungarian left, is, thank God, beaten to the ground. They are not even dreaming about changing government in 4 years. The left says that this happened because the difference in resources, but I don't believe it. I think there is a different reason for it. I think the ongoing present candidates of the left are very low-profile politicians and they are amateurs. And the truth is that Fidesz could win with two-third majority. The cause of it is the difference in intelligence, because they could not see what is the situation in Hungary and with the people. Of the elections this year were even more disastrous for the left, because even more radical right party, our homeland party, surpassed the limit of the Hungarian parliament. And the left painfully learned that even an alliance which they created for the elections is not enough and will be not enough to counterbalance or compete with the right. So far it is good. The other topics which I will speak, the immigration and the anti-NGO policy, there will be more critics said towards the Hungarian government. Naturally, I make critiques from the viewpoint from the right. Let's start with the second point, with the immigration. Media says that Hungary is a well-protected country against illegal immigration due to our border fence. But this is what the media says. But actually, I've been several times at the southern border in Hungary, and I witnessed with my eyes what is going on there. The problem is that this border fence is not enough, it not works, it not protects the border. The migrants in the northern parts of Serbia, they buy all the ladders, and by the ladders, everybody who wants to cross the border manage to do so. Only the human traffickers remain in Serbia who are members of migrant mobs and makes a lot of money out of human trafficking. The illegal immigrants causes a lot of problems to the Hungarian decent people who are living near the border, because they destroy agricultural investments, destroy the seeding again and again, and people fear to let children out to the streets in those times. The people are constantly calling the police and sometimes they are coming, sometimes they don't because they are overloaded. I am telling you what happens if some group of migrants are got by police. They are taxied back to the Serbian border and they can restart this level, so come again. Finally, I state that all of the immigrants can cross the border, so this kind of defending is not enough. The government should do much more. The government should be much radical in this sense, and the government should protect the Hungarian people from the illegal immigrants. And now I will speak about some laws which are created by Fidesz against the Soros NGOs. And these are, in this meaning, very similar, because these laws are not working effectively against these organizations. I will raise two concrete examples when it is shown that these laws are not applied against these organizations. Few years ago, Fidesz created a law which stated that every organization which is financed from abroad above a certain limit, it has to be highlighted, all of its media and all of its activities. So the law said that these organizations should put a label on their media stating that they are financed from abroad. But this law was never applied against Soros organizations, and finally, in silence, the government cancelled it. Another example, in the Western media, there is a Hungarian anti-LGBT law, and this says that no homosexual propaganda is allowed to show to children. We can clearly agree with this law, but there is a problem with this law. There is no sanctions included in it. So we can call this law rather a suggestion, but a law. No legal proceedings started against this organization according to this law. These organizations, they are educating the so-called gay couples how to elude and evade the Hungarian laws, how to adopt children while it is banned according to the Hungarian law. This activity is done, for example, one of the most influential Soros NGO, which name is Hatvannégy Society. They are doing very harmful work in the society. We would believe that the Hungarian authorities should prosecute them and disturb them, but no such thing happens. On the contrary, they received the public benefit category, which means that they can gather more money with this category. And for example, this week, Katalin Novák, who is the president of the Hungarian Republic, invited them into Sándor Palace, which shows their validation from the government. Apart from this pro-LGBTQ agenda, they're creating protocols for the police and the judges and the persecutors. How should they do their work? You know, these protocols are liberal protocols, and for example, me, or I suppose everyone in this room, should be taken into the extremist category or a hate group category. And if we would face a legal issue, then we would start from a worse situation. Do you think these protocols are rejected by the Hungarian authorities? Absolutely no. On the contrary, these protocols are accepted. So we can see that the politics of Fidesz government leaves a lot to desire. Another example, apart from the Soros NGOs, when, for example, National Policy Institute wanted to hold a conference, the government banned it. And one of the potential speakers, such as the famous Russian ideologist Alexander Dugin, was banned from the area of Hungary. And let me raise one more personal point. We organized a festival on the territory of Slovakia, dedicating to maintain the Hungarian identity, strengthen the Hungarian identity, and maintain the Hungarian people there. We won really small money to reduce the cost of this festival. But then a no-name liberal journalist showed up and wrote an article claiming that the government should not give any money to such extremist organization as us. Even though the withdrawal of this small amount of money was against the applicable laws because the tender was already won, they obeyed the no-name liberal journalist. Practically, that's all what I wanted to say about the political situation in Hungary. You can see that it leaves a lot to be desired because they won with two-third majority for the fourth time. But in practice, we do not see the cultural war against the Soros NGOs, and we do not see the war against illegal immigration in practice. In the following section, I would like to speak about the movement, the activity of my movement. We are a youth movement, and that's why the youth is in our focus, because the future of Hungary and Europe could be built on a physically and mentally healthy youth. We are organizing youth camps where children can get introduced with a worldview which is based on traditional principles rather than liberalism. We have a great success in it because children like this very much, and we are very happy to put work in this. Every year we hold commemorations and walking tours to record to our heroes and maintain our heroic tradition which our nation has. We are doing war against the Soros NGOs. We are trying to monitor their activity and enlighten them what is done in practice. In this year, we turned the flat to a chapel where friendly priests can hold the traditional masses. The priests are associated with the Society of St. Pius X. Apart from this, we are very proud of our journal, a metapolitical journal, which has the name of Duo Gladi. The Duo Gladi refers to a quote from the Bible when Jesus said, everybody should possess a sword. Duo Gladi means two swords, and it is a symbol in the Bible which refers to the political and the spiritual reality. Since we intend to apply spiritual principles in the political reality, that's why we have chosen that title. We think that the world should be built on traditional principles. And the modern world is not this kind of... that's why it is very fragile, and that's why we can witness wars all the time. Nowadays, the illusions of pacifism is gone. So those who thought that humankind is morally evolving are wrong. On the contrary, we can see the verification of the Catholic doctrine that stating that the world starts from the Garden of Eden and ends with the time of Apocalypse. That's why we can see in our life and in history certain decay and certain decadence. And our job is to withhold this decadence. The withhold word means in ancient Greek language katekon. Katekon literally means that one who withholds. We believe that we have to keep an eye on the higher principles, on the spiritual teachings, and in the society withhold the darkness. To highlight this idea even more, I would like to quote the second letter of Paul to the Thessalonians, chapter 2.
Okay.
I will do it in Italian, so...
Okay, perfect.
Ora fratelli, circa la venuta del Signore nostro Gesù Cristo e il nostro incontro con Lui, vi preghiamo di non lasciarvi così presto consvolgere la mente, né turbare sia da pretese ispirazioni, sia da discorsi, sia da qualche lettera data come nostra, come se il giorno del Signore fosse già presente. Nessuno vi inganni in alcun modo, poiché quel giorno non verrà se prima non sia venuta l'apostasia e non sia stato manifestato l'uomo del peccato, il figlio della perdizione, l'avversario, colui che si innalza soprattutto ciò che è chiamato Dio od oggetto di culto fino al punto da porsi a sedere nel tempio di Dio, mostrando se stesso e proclamandosi Dio. Non vi ricordate che quando ero ancora con voi vi dicevo queste cose? Ora voi sapete ciò che lo trattiene. This word in ancient Greek is katekon. Affinché sia manifestato a suo tempo. Infatti il mistero dell'empietà è già in atto, soltanto c'è chi ora lo trattiene, finché sia tolto di mezzo. E allora sarà manifestato l'empio che il Signore Gesù distruggerà in il soffio della sua bocca e annienterà con l'apparizione della sua venuta. La venuta di quell'empio avrà luogo per l'azione efficace di Satana, con ogni sorta di opere potenti, di segni e di prodigi bugiardi, con ogni tipo di inganno e di iniquità, a danno di quelli che periscono perché non hanno aperto il cuore all'amore della verità per essere salvati. Perciò Dio manda loro una potenza d'errore perché credano alla menzogna, affinché tutti quelli non hanno creduto alla verità, ma si sono compiaciuti nell'iniquità siano giudicati. So when we look into the history, we can see in every age some people who withstanded the dark forces. This is also because they have an idea of a better world, which is a living reality in themselves. Let me give a picture of this feeling or this idea by quoting our founder, László Toroczkai. And I will quote him in Italian because I translated this. Oggi siamo tutti alla ricerca di un mondo perduto nel nostro ambiente globalizzato e senza volto. Cerchiamo le parti, i nostri re santificati, i nostri generali vittoriosi, i nostri guerrieri che sfidano la morte, i nostri castelli splendenti, le nostre roccaforti incrollabili, le nostre case con le pareti bianche, i nostri campi dorati, le nostre sorgenti cristalline, i nostri mari trasparenti e blu e le nostre montagne innevate alte come il cielo. Stiamo cercando i nostri governanti che vivono e muoiono per uno scopo superiore e il nostro popolo cosciente che è coese e leale al suo capo. Questo mondo l'abbiamo perso molto tempo fa e l'hanno fatto perdere. Il movimento giovanile del 64, fondato nel 2001, si batte per il risorgimento di questo mondo che una volta esisteva ma che oggi sembra una favola. This is the end of quote. So I think very many people grasp this feeling and this idea which László Toroczkai put. We are people who has an inner urge to counterattack the dark forces in the world. We want to be taken into account on the positive side of history, whatever it costs. As Russell Kirk, the American conservative, very well said, I am a conservative. Quite possibly I am on the losing side, often I think so. Yet out of a curious perversity, I had rather lose with Socrates, let us say, than win with Lenin. May the world be in decay or in decadence, let us never forget that the victory has promised for us, those who withstand, the catechons. Let us be those who withstand, let us be catechons.
Facciamo e stiamo in piedi, siamo e cerchiamo di essere catechoni. Thank you very much. Excellent